Okay, I found myself with some extra time. I had a tooth cut out, so basically I had a whole day and a half that I wasn't going to do anything. And what I did was I decided to tear my whole helicopter down and go through the whole thing. There was some parts I wanted to change on it, And what I come up with was this. I took my Test 450 that I've been doing all my testing on and all my reviews on, stripped it completely down. Put it all back together. Now I didn't get the parts in for my pro head, so I went ahead and stuck to this head, which it flies fine for me. I don't care. My pro head is sitting right there waiting on a couple of parts. Hey, when it gets there, it does. Anyway, stripped it down, rebuilt the whole thing, everything in it. I went with all premium electronics in this one. In that one, I'll do the clone electronics. This one here has some hop-ups on it. We'll go through it. I have the Spartan quark gyro, DS520 tail servo, Hitech 65 mil gear cyclics, Scorpion 8 motor, 14 tooth pinion, Castle Ice 50 speed controller, and a 450 helicopter. This is the only speed controller I'll use. I got burnt on a cheap speed controller in one of my very early reviews of the 450s, and it literally burst into flames while I was doing some basic 3D. And if you're going to push it like that, and it's going to, why chance it? A $15 speed controller cost me $30-something in parts, plus another speed controller. So really, it cost me about 45 bucks. So I'm done with it. I get these for $55 to $70, and I think they're great. And the data logging is a nice way to see what's going on in your helicopter. So, on with the thing here. All premium electronics. This is the torque tube version. I did get the KBDD paddles or tail blades. They're lighter and they're fluorescent. They show up better. They got different colors. It was this or black. I went with this so it'd be easier to see. I do have a set. I got fiberglass ones on here now. I do have a set of the KBDDs right here for the paddles. These are actually lighter than the carbons, and I hear if you put them in that front hole, your 3D gets really wild. I can't wait to try it. I'll put them on later. I rebuilt the whole thing from scratch. Zeroed out everything on the radio. Trimmed it all out. I got plus 12, negative 12. Got it all together. Took it outside. Turned it on. Popped it in the air. The disc tracked perfectly. Everything trimmed out perfectly at 0. If you check your weights, balance your stuff, and you measure everything out the way you're supposed to when you put one together, you shouldn't have to do any trimming on the radio, or maybe a click here or click there. This one came out perfect for me. I was impressed with it. I did the tail centering just like WC Wicked Clown recommends, and the tail came out perfect. Who's to argue with that, honestly? Anyway, I did, as you can see, got carbon fiber boom on this. This tail, the Trex uses the old style. I don't know why they do it. They use that one ball linkage deal right there for the tail. I did get a dual push tail, as you can see right here, and that's me trying to move it, and there's no slop. No slop, see? Here, I'll force it to move. There you go. I forced it to move, as you can see. It stops. See that? I'm trying. It's not moving at all. There's no slop in that tail at all with this dual push tail slider. I really like that. Now, with that said, this whole helicopter with premium electronics in it came to a grand total of $455. That's my cost. I got the Scorpion 8 for $55 at my local hobby shop. They give me I get a 10% discount off their shelf price. And a lot of times they even mark things down further than that. They sold me the Spartan quark. I think it was like 150 something, 160 in the counter. They sold it to me for 135. That's because I do a lot of business with them, so they do cut me deals. But this one, with all premium electronics, $455, and it flies like a dream. And that does include the Pro head. It's just that I tore it up, and I'm yet to fix it. But the Pro EXI helicopter kit is $70. Doesn't have the torque tube, but doesn't have the carbon boom, but you can get that. That's not a big. That's nothing. I got 8 of them sitting here just in case I need one. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna finish up this one. I'm gonna take that little Exceed 3500 out of there, which I was wanting to see what that would actually do. I find it hard to believe that little motor's a 3500. I'm gonna finish building this one. It will have a Castle Ice 50 in it because that's what I have. I'm not gonna buy a cheap one. I may get a Super Brain 60 and try it out, but I know for a fact the 40 would overheat and shut down the way I fly. I may try their 60. I'm gonna put the 4400 2415-T Tord Pro in there that I got from Hobby King. That has a 13-tooth pinion and I use governor mode on this to bring it down. If I didn't, I'd have to use a 11 or a 12, depending. I like 3200. This helicopter, and idle up 2 is 3200, and idle up 1, I'm flying 3000, and then in standard hover mode, I'm flying 2800. I was pushing 34. I don't recommend it. At 3400, my carbon fiber tail blades, literally, it pulled them apart. The centrifugal force was so much, it pulled them out of the root, literally. I was a little concerned about the blades maybe separating. At 32, it's nice, it's crisp, and I feel like it's safe. So, here we are. This is going to have, these are Tower Pro Metal Gear 9-gram servos. It'll have a blue arrow, narrow band digital servo. That's a 760 microsecond, 550 cycle servo. It's going to have, right now, the GA250s on there. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to put the mini MIMs back on there. It'll have, of course, the 4400 motor. I'll get it all together. The whole helicopter built, minus receiver and battery pack, is $255. That's with the mini MIMs, which is comparable to the Spartan quark from what I've flown so far of both of them. Now, you can knock that price down from about $250, $255 all the way down to about $180, $190 if you, instead of going with the mini MIMs, you go with the Asan GA250. It's a nice beginner's MIMS gyro. It does a good job of holding the tail. It doesn't blow out and punch outs. I've done some rolls, some flips, even some inverted hovering. I wouldn't recommend somebody to try to do competition level with it because I'm sure in backward inverted flight it would probably blow out. But it comes in this little itty bitty box right there, and to give you an idea of size, there's the 4400 motor for the 450. It's not very big in the box. Of course, it is the same size as a Spartan quark, pretty much. It does a good job. It's $10 at Hobby King. I did a review earlier on these, and you could build this whole machine, $180, $195, and be flying a decent machine until you get your 3D skills up to where you need more, and then change out this. That's what I try to do. I try to show you what you can do and what you got the ability to do without wasting your money, because this hobby isn't a cheap hobby, and the average person that wants to get into it is scared because of the cost. You can do this on a budget. You just have to watch what you do and what you get. You can get cheap parts, as long as they're quality cheap parts. The trick is you got to know what you can and can't get. And that's where I'm trying to take some of it out of the equation for you beginners. I do have my HD camcorder, which, hey, there it is. You know, it's a Sony HD camcorder. You know, I've had it for a year. I just don't have nobody to operate it. Whenever I do family functions, I'm the one that's got to use it. Once I get both these going, I'm going to try to get my wife, one of my kids, somebody to man the camcorder, and I will put some video up of both of them flying. You know, I'll do some punch outs, I'll do some rolls, I'll do some flips, just so you can get an idea of how they compare to each other. And truly, I don't think you're going to see much difference. I am going to convert this one with the Scorpion in it over to a 4-cell system here in about a week. I've already got the battery ordered, and then all I got to do is reprogram the speed controller. So that will be converted over. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. If you have any questions, have any comments, feel free to post them. If you don't like your tail, I mean, that dual push tail upgrade, I mean, it takes out all the slop in that 450 tail. And I mean, it'll work with any Trex 450 clone, compatible, what have you. You might look into that. I really like that. It was worth it. Alright, thank you. Have a good day.